Hey, welcome back to class. Let's go ahead and get started in our warm-up. Today with our warm-up, we're going to put one leg behind us and we're gonna do 10 split squats on each side just to get it started. So that's 1, 2, 3, I gotta warm up my knees. 4, sprained one a few days ago. 5, it's not feeling too great. 6, let's make sure we warm up nice. 7, pop every time, love it. 8, 9, 10, and other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stop popping. 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's go ahead and let's jog in place and let's do chest openers. While still jogging in place, let's go ahead and do backward arm circles. Full range of motion. Other direction, forward arm circles. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do some reverse triangle footworks. Going. You can press off if you'd like. And now let's do some forward triangles. Going. All right, maybe it's just me, but I need to shake out my knee a little bit. Doesn't like me today, or for the next 2 weeks probably, but that's all right. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to review angles 1 through 8. So right foot forward, strike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In case you haven't realized by now, keep it going. This 8 angle pattern is gonna show up in everything, right? The way we do just about everything is going to be able to be chopped up into these 8 angles. So make sure you really get that pattern down and the concept down, right? Like I've mentioned before, I could do all 8 of these angles aiming at Bob's head here, but I could also do changing the height, right? So maybe angle 1 is up at the head, and then angle 2 is at the shoulder. Maybe angle 3 is at the belly line, but angle 4 is at the knee line, right? 5 could go back up to the head, but I'm still moving in these same ways. So I can change where the center point of that 8-pointed star is. Essentially, I could have it here, I could have it here, I could go down and have it closer to the knees, right? So that star can go and change the height, and the angle is still the same, right? Whether this angle 5 right here is hitting down towards the knee, or it's coming up and it's hitting into the ribs, or I'm hitting into the face, it's still that same angle from the forehand going up at that 45-ish degree angle is angle 5, right? So same thing with angle 1 is here, but I could also have it here and striking down and hitting somebody in the knee, right? So this is still an angle 1 when I'm going down here and I'm trying to target Bob's knees, right? That's still angle 1. This is still an angle 2, right? This would be an angle 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can change that height, and I really want you to get that concept. Let's go ahead and change hands, practice with our left hand. And then remember, when we go on the left hand, the numbers just flip, because a 1 is that downward 45 forehand. Angle 2 is the backhand, downward 45. Angle 3 is a forehand 45, or a horizontal. Angle 4 is a backhand horizontal. Upward 45 forehand is a 5. Backhand upward 45 is a 6. Straight up 7. Straight down 8. Obviously the angle can vary a little bit in between there, but that's the idea of it. So let's practice it again, more on our left hand. Try to just free flow with it. Have a little bit of this hip turn motion into this, whether you go up that way with your 7, or you come this way with your 7, or you go that way with your 7. Doesn't overly matter right now. I kind of like to use the thrusts a lot, just because for me it flows a bit better with these patterns. But as you know, I really like that one as an attack sequence. But when I'm going 1 through 8, it doesn't quite flow as nicely. Other hand is up here or down here, or varying between the two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do angles 1 through 8. But we're gonna do it on footwork, angles 1 through 8. Okay, so I want you to imagine that same star. It's down on the ground, right? So number 1 is here, just like our angle 1 comes from that top right corner going down. Well, that's my angle 1. That's my 1 step. Guess what my 2 is? You guessed it, 2. And my 3? Oh, you guys are so smart, 3. What about 4? Can you guess what that is? 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Okay, cool. So you understand what we're doing? We're stepping on the same angle pattern as we're striking angles 1 through 8. So I'm here. 1, 2, 3. I'm doing kind of a side step here. 4, I know we haven't overly talked about it, but it's fine. 5, we'll get to it later. 6, 7, 8. Now, what I want you to do here is I want that 8 to be a forehand. All right, so 8 forehand goes to the front side, 8 backhand goes to the back side. Still going pretty much straight down that center line, but after we pass through our target, we decide on if we want to go forehand or backhand. Now I want you to go forehand here as we step back, and then we're going to do the exact same thing with the left hand. So we're going to be alternating here. Now I'm going to step left 1, left 2, left 3, left 4, left 5, left 6, left 7, left 8, forehand. Okay, now let me show you this pass real quick. So the pass, as I'm coming here, boom, as I get to the point where my wrist flips over to the side, I want to open my other hand like this, and I want to put it right on top of the hand that just had it. And now I raise them both up together. I get my grip and I slide the passing hand off, and then I go same thing. All right, so let's do that real quick. Let's just practice our switching from one side to the other. We can do it with just an angle 1. It's fine. We get down here, pass it. The receiving hand goes on top. Feeding hand, it's taken off. Pass it. Pass. So we're just working on this hand change real quick. Pass it down. As it flips it over, receiving hand goes on top, clasp around it, they come up together, and you take that hand off. The reason I want you to come up together is because I don't want you to go really hard with this and accidentally not have a good grip on it. It happens more if you're wearing gloves, right? If you're like sparring, it's more likely to happen. Or if you are being struck at, right, while you're doing your switch, you want to have a positive grip on it. You don't want to just kind of loosely pass it from one hand to the other because sometimes you drop it. Okay, so now that we have our hand switch, we're going to do that same thing. So again, let's start with our left. Sticks in the left hand. Left 1, left 2, left 3, left 4, left 5, left 6, left 7, step through 8. You could come up here, but I like the step through. And then as we come back after that, we're going to pass it to our other hand. 1, right 2, right 3, right 4, right 5, right 6, right 7, and 8. Let's go ahead and pass it from that 8. Left 1, left 2, left 3, left 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Actually, I'm gonna turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left 5, left 6, left 7, and 8. So forehand. 1 right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we got our 8 angles down. We got our 8 angles on the ground as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do another redondo strike. So in the last class we learned what a redondo strike was. It's a circular strike. Right? Redondo means circular. So typically when I just say redondo by itself, I'm usually referring to this backhand circular 8, right? So this is a circular 8, right? Because I'm going down that 8 line, and it's the backhand side because I'm hitting here and coming here. This would be my forehand circular 8, which is the one that we're going to be practicing today. So let's go ahead and let's start with our right foot in front. You can do this one easily from the left lead or the right lead. The backhand redondo, you typically have to have the same hand and foot in front because this one is, while possible, it's just this really janky feeling. So this is how we would do our backhand, but our forehand, like I said, could go either way. So I could be here or I could be here. Right? It doesn't actually make really any difference. And I can apply a little bit more power, probably when this is in the back, but it's not much more. The main thing on this is I would like the foot to be in front because I have that reach. Right? So it's just, even without trying, I get a little bit more reach when that foot's in front versus that foot is in front. That's the main thing there. And then we ideally want to have our shield and our weapon up front instead of in the back. So let's go ahead and let's try this a few times. We can start above the head, or we can go onto the shoulder. Either way, we're going straight down, and it's this circular 8 pattern. And we're making a big motion here. All right, so let's start off real big. Practice both of them, right? Do 3 or 4 on the shoulder from our shoulder load position. Do 3 or 4 from our high load position. Nice and easy. High load, get a few. Shoulder load, get a few. I'm gonna switch stances. Practice a few that way. High load, shoulder load. It's that exact same concept. I'm throwing it out there. When I want to make it a little bit tighter, I can have it more as a punch forward and down, right? Instead of this raise up real big, right? And down. It can be more forward as I do this. And same thing as before, I typically will use this to hit the hand. I can hit the head, but hands are just my preferred target, because if I can just hit their hands and then they can't use their hand to hit me, I win, right? Especially if they have a weapon. If I hit their weapon hand and I hit hard, now they drop their weapon or their hand is broken, I win. That's how I see it. So I like hands. I can hit the head, I can hit the body, but hands win, right? It's a concept in FMA, defanging the snake, right? Not scared of a snake, doesn't have fangs. Same thing. If you don't have a weapon, I'm not really afraid of you, especially if I have a weapon. Unless you're just massive. If your hands are bigger than my head, I still might be a little bit afraid. But I'm probably faster than you, so it's okay. All right, let's go ahead and let's switch sides, and we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna have some from this high load position and some from the shoulder load position. And I just want you to nice and easily circle this around with that circular 8. My left hand, I feel like I want to go too far outside instead of more down. I only have to clear out to pass my leg and not hit myself, and I don't want to thud myself on the way down, but I don't need to go way off to the side. So those are things that I'm feeling with my left. You might be feeling it too. Maybe not. My left also doesn't want to turn over properly at the bottom. Nice and easy. Just keep it relaxed. Don't overly relax your grip. Don't tighten your grip either, but I don't want you to here where your hand opens up, right? Your wrist will just turn. Don't open your hand. All of your fingers should stay on your hand the whole time, or on their stick the whole time. So shoulder loads, some high loads. Switch my stance. All right, take a breath. Breathe in and out. Hopefully you feel a lot more comfortable with those circular strikes now. So what we're gonna do now is we're actually gonna put the forehand and the backhand circular strike, right, or redondo strike, or circular 8, together with a angle 3 and an angle 4. So when I start off, I'm gonna start with an angle 3. As it passes all the way around here, I'm gonna do my backhand redondo. As it comes back to the side, then I'm gonna cut through with my angle 4, and I'm gonna do my forehand redondo. Okay, so I want you to make these big motions, so cut all the way through, get that full chamber, and then hit that circular 8 all the way through, back to either a shoulder load or a high load. And I could go to a high load, is fine. But I want you to go to that load and then go for that circular 8. So 3, 8, 4, 8, 3, 8, 4, 8. Again, you can bring it up top on both of these. You could have it on that side load and that shoulder load on both of these. And I want you to play around with it, right? Here, let's go high load for 2. Let's go shoulder load and side load for the next two. Let's go back to our high load and our side and shoulder load. High load, side load, shoulder load. High, high, side, shoulder. Big motions, swing all the way through into that next chamber position. And get ready. Strike, strike. Blade edge on, blade edge on, blade edge on, blade edge on. So we're kind of making this plus sign here. Okay. Horizontal strike, vertical strike, horizontal strike, vertical strike. Keep it going. Horizontal, vertical. 3, 8, 4, 8. 3 forehand, 8 downwards, 4 backhand, 8. Take a breath. Switch your hands, switch your feet. Same thing. Start off 3. Let's go. Side load 8. 4. Shoulder load 8. Now we'll go 3. High load 8. 4. High load. 3. Side. 4. Shoulder. 3. High. 4. High. 3. Side. 4. Shoulder. 3. High. 4. High. Keep it going. Mix up which one you're doing, whether you're going to a shoulder load or that high load. Play around with it, but try to be mindful of it. So don't just kind of la-di-da-da. Be like, okay, I want this one to be a side, I want this one to be a high. Right, high, shoulder. Right. When you're mindful of it, it gives you that more options instead of what your body just flows to, because at a certain point your body's just going to pick one of these and it's going to be like, I want to do that one, and if I'm not thinking about it, that's the one that's happening. So I want you to be able to train both of them. Now, if you want to, while you're practicing this, you can also practice working the hips. So as I do this, 3, I load my hip up by turning my back hip forward, and then I turn back again for that redondo. And then I hit 4, turning my hips towards the front leg. I turn my hips towards the back leg, loading it up for my redondo, the forehand redondo, and I drop it back to get the power. So that's where the power comes from with these redondos. When I'm doing the forehand, I turn my hips towards my back leg, and then I sink back so that my hips turn back towards the front leg. So that's the power on the forehand. The power on the backhand is going to be this same but opposite, right? So I'm going to turn my back hip towards the front and then sink it. Turn, strike, turn, I just wanted to kind of point that out a little bit. We talked about it some in the last class for the Redondo, but I hadn't really talked about it for the forehand. So the forehand one, raise that front heel up, turn and straighten the front leg, and then bend and sink down. And that's where the power is going to come from for that forehand Redondo, or that circular 8. Take a breath in and out. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do double strikes. So double strike is a strike and then doing the same strike again using that Redondo or that circular pattern. So what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to start with my right foot forward and my right hand on the stick. I'm going to do angle 1, and then I'm going to do a circular 1. All right, rechamber it, angle 1, circular 1. And now I'm going to finish the first strike and then just bring my hand all the way back around for that second strike. And we kind of did something like this, I think it was even the first class, right? When we went 1 and I had you bring it up and over the head and then strike 2. It's just not gonna be this kind of a slow and close motion, right? Not really gonna be touching the stick to my body as I wrap it. It's going to be 1, 2, right? So I hit that 1 and I hit that second one, going that same angle, right? So I'm gonna strike 1, circular 1. I bring it up just past the head and circle it again. Right? But I don't have to keep it in tight, right? Before I did this, touch the body, strike, and then strike again. Strike 1, strike 1. Okay, so we're gonna do double strikes here. And now I want big ones, and I'll get to the difference between that in just a little bit, but I want you to finish that full strike, bring it around, and finish another full strike. Don't cut these strikes short. Ready? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, circular 1, 1, circular 1, 1, circular 1, 1, circular 1. If you want, you could start with your left foot forward and you can step 1 and then hop step forward for that second one. You could reach 1 and skip forward. You could reach 1 and then instead of the skip, you could step and slide forward. All right, so 1, 1. Different options. Right? Maybe I didn't hit that first one because they moved back, and I want to hit that again. So keep practicing where I talk 1, 1. You don't have to go super hard. But one of the cool things about doing these same strikes, or these double strikes, is that a lot of people expect this and then something on the backhand side. They expect a forehand and then a backhand usually. So if you go forehand, forehand, it's a little bit more unexpected, okay, than just a forehand, backhand, which again, most people are expecting that. So let's keep practicing. 1, 2. Practice moving forward with it. So let's go ahead and let's step and slide 1 and skip 1. Right? So the skipping or hop step footwork is just the back foot coming up. We've done this. I just didn't really name it. And then the step and slide is the front foot moving first, then the back foot, and then we'll have back foot, front foot. So 1, 2. Reset. 1, 2. 1, 2. The one thing to realize about footwork is the step and slide, right, where the lead foot moves first, is great for keeping your balance, but it doesn't give you as much distance as a back foot to the front foot. Right? You will get more distance moving like that. So, trade-offs. 1, 2. 1, circular 1. 1, circular 1. 1, circular 1. 1, circular 1. And I do want you using this footwork, right? So make sure you are practicing this footwork. Ideally, you have this strike down now, this double strike. So step and slide, strike. 1, 2. 1, 2. Step a little bit with your first one, bigger motion with the second one. 1, 2. Right, if you have something that you can practice targeting, you can practice this first one missing. Look how much I missed by. And then I come in and I hit on my second strike. Right, I'm closing that distance. So I've got my 1, 2. Okay, let's go ahead and let's practice with our left hand. Same thing. So, without the footwork, let's get the hands down. 1, circular 1. Bring it back over however you want. 1, circular 1. 1, circular 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. Now try not to clip yourself in the head as you're bringing that first one back up to go for that circular one. 1, 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. Finish that full one strike, and then another one. 1, 1. Okay, let's start adding in a little bit of footwork now. You don't have to move a whole long distance when you're doing this, but I do want you to close a little bit of distance. So 1, 1, and go back. Step, reach 1, slide forward, step, reach 2. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, circular 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. If you like, you can practice covering even more distance with it. 1, 1. Let's do one more. 1, 1. Deep breath in and out. Switch hands. The next thing that we're gonna do is the same thing, but now we're gonna do small circles. So before I had you finish the full strike and then go for another full strike. Now we're going to cut the first one and hit the second one. All right, so let's just kind of get some terminology, some basic terminology that you'll hear. The first one would have been a 1, circular 1, which is a redondo strike, a circular strike. This is going to be more of a florete, okay? A florete is a flower strike. So it's these kind of spinny strikes, right? To me, it's a 1, but now you don't go all the way through with that 1. You think of it kind of like a broken 1, bring it around, and then a circular 1. So broken, circular, broken, circular. But then we speed it up, right? So instead of stopping here and then going, it would be here. These ones are cool. I've talked about them before. We basically did this in the last class, but we did it with the 1 and then straight on the 8 line, right? With that 8. So I had to go boom, boom here. We're going to now follow the same line. So we're going to go 1 back into a 1 instead of a 1 into a circular 8, right? 1 back into a 1, and that's going to make this a double strike. So this is going to be a small double strike, also could be called a florete, okay? but it's that angle 1, broken. And now, as I'm setting up for this, I'm gonna use the inside, right? So if this was a blade edge, I would be hitting with the flat edge of the blade as I turn here, rotate over, and then I come back down that same angle and I finish it. Again, 1, I go to my broken, so I go to that center. I go sideways once I get to the center as I wrap around my wrist, and I strike again. 1, circular 1, circular 1. And now it doesn't have to actually reach that center before you can go for the next one. Sometimes I'll end up kind of doing it up here, and it's kind of a show, right? Like I talked about in the last class, a lot of people will meet your 1 with a 1 block, right? They'll do a 1 block as you're doing a 1 strike. And now this is eliciting their 1 block, and then now you change it, so now you're a half beat behind them, but their 1 block has passed, and you hit before they're able to do a 2 block or strike 2, whatever, right? So we're here and here. Some of the time, I will even slow down the first part of it and speed up on the second part, right? So I'll throw this, boom, here. Now, you can't do this every time. You have to throw some 1s, right? I have to strike my 1s to make them think I'm gonna hit them with a 1, right? If I just start doing this from the very beginning and this is all I do, well, then they're gonna know that that's what I'm doing, and they're never gonna be worried about the first strike, and they're only gonna be worried about the second strike. So you have to mix it up, right? I can't do this every time. But some of the time I can even hit with that first one, boom, and then hit with the second one. That's why I like to call these a double strike instead of a pure florete, right? I'm trying to get that first. But once I get to that area, right, this is where my broken strike would happen. I flip around, and I hit that fluid strike. Broken strike, flip around, hit the fluid. But I'm not going all the way down here and then going for another one for this specific drill. I will do that at times, right? I will go here to here and go for these full strikes, but sometimes I'll go here. But if I can hit that first one and hit that second one, great, love it. I wanna do it. I actually have a pretty high percentage of hitting that second one. It works really well because a lot of people don't expect it for some reason. It works, so give it a shot, but practice it nice and slow if you need to. Hit that broken through it. When you get right about that center, flip. Again, I could do it up here, but I like to ideally try to hit with both of them. Unless I know that they're coming in for a really good block, then I might do it a little bit earlier, and that would be just to kind of suck my hand back in and strike. So maybe I have an opponent that likes to do a 1 block on my hand. So we go here, and then my hand is about to get hit. So I'll suck it back in and then hit. Right, that'll be my evasion. I'm evading their 1 block. So you can do that as well. Sometimes the hand stays in the same place. 1, 2. Sometimes it comes in and back. Boom, boom. Play around with it. Find out what you need to do. If they're blocking on the stick, you don't have to suck the hand in so much. If they have a habit of aiming at your hands, well, you need to get your hand out of the way. But you can still elicit their strike and then counter back. Here, here. So if you want to practice that sucking in motion, you can think of kind of bringing the back of your hand to your forehead. That'll help with that idea of they're about to hit my hand. Back to the forehead, strike. Don't go all the way to your forehead, and don't go off to the side and smash yourself with the stick. If you do, please record it and please send it to me. I want to laugh. I will laugh with you, but definitely not at you, with you. A few more of these. Speed them up if you'd like. Let's see, you could probably do this same. It still works a little bit better with the 2 bigger strikes with that much movement of footwork. but it can still work, right? So I can go with these smaller strikes as well. Okay, so you can practice that as well. Right now, I really just kind of want you getting the habit of not finishing the first strike and then doing it. I want you to practice getting on the second one. If you want to retract it, you can. If you want to leave it out there, you can also do that. Just know, as people get higher up in experience, body shots happen a little bit less. Hand shots happen all the time, right? You'll see people with just these, stick hickeys, the welts on their arms, a lot more than on the body. You'll get hit in the body too, but you will definitely get hit more in the arms. So just kind of be aware of that. More advanced people are going to take out your arms. Let's go ahead and switch. Same thing, nice and slow. Let's do that. One broken, flip it around, circular one. Broken one, circular one. Broken one, circular. Broken, circular. Broken, circular. If you want to practice bringing the hand back and hitting, that's fine too. Not a bad habit to just go ahead and do, but sometimes you need that reach, right? And that's the reason why I'll leave it out there, because I'm essentially just kind of chasing them down with this. So you will get more power too, though, if you bring it back, right? Because I can whip it more, get more extension again. It also might take a little bit longer, not much, but sometimes 1/16 of a second is enough to movement to either hit them or not hit them. Stick sparring happens quite fast. Sticks move very fast. Try to speed it up a little bit if you feel comfortable. Feel comfortable with the right. The left is not my biggest fan, but it's not doing too bad. If you wanted to practice it with that footwork, you're also welcome to do that with a step and then a hop step, slide step, hop step. While retreating. Probably not as good while retreating. For me, this is more of an attack move rather than a defensive move. All right. So for me, I would do this one moving forward. I just wouldn't as much do it backwards. Right? Because if I'm moving backwards, especially rapidly, I'm probably trying to block or evade, not I could be counter blocking, but I'm not so much going for these deceptive strikes as much when I'm evading. I'm more trying to not get hit. Okay, let's go and take a breath in and out. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're just going to do a little bit of free flow. So I'm gonna set a timer for 3 minutes, and all I want you to do is move around and strike. So however you wanna strike, whatever strikes we've done before, whatever footwork patterns you want to do. If you don't want to do a footwork pattern, that's fine too. You can just move. I just don't want you to stay still and la-di-da-di-da strike. Right? Ideally, you're moving with almost every strike, or at least every other strike. Try to move a little bit. Try to take a step. Ready? 3 minutes and begin. If you want to practice footwork patterns, again, be my guest. Maybe you want to practice moving, changing the angle. practice things that we did today. You're welcome to do that. Don't forget to switch hands every now and then. Give your left a little bit of love. Unless you're lefty, then give your right a little bit of love. You can practice those hand switches that we did earlier. Hold your breath as you're moving around. Exhale. Whenever you exert a lot of energy, breathe out. If you're just constantly flowing and moving, then I just want you to try to breathe as naturally as you can. Going, got about 25 seconds left. Time. Catch your breath. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna recap what we went over today. So we started off with our warm-up and then we reviewed our 8 angles of striking. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After that, we did our 8 angles while stepping on our 8 angles. So angle 1 to angle 1, angle 2 to step 2, angle 3 to step 3, angle 4 to step 4, and so forth, all the way up, 7, and 8. From here, we went a forehand 8, and we practiced passing it to our other hand. So just practicing it here, we went down. As it flipped over, the receiving hand goes on top, making that L, clasps on as they raise up together, and then we struck again. So we practiced that a few times before we alternated striking angle 8 on stepping pattern, or 8 stepping pattern. After that, we went and we covered our forehand redondo strike, which is our forehand circular 8 strike. After we practiced that from our high load and our shoulder load, we did that on both sides. Then we put it together with a 3 backhand circular 8, 4 forehand circular 8, and we worked this pattern. From there, we worked our angle 1 double strikes. So the first one was a full or big double strike. So I struck 1 full angle 1, I brought it around, and then I did a circular 1. After that, we added a little bit of footwork. So we stepped forward with our 1, and we brought the back foot up and stepped again with that circular 1. From there, we worked our small circles. So these are kind of like our floretes, right? So it's a broken 1 instead of that full fluid 1, and then we go for our circular 1. So we went broken 1, circular 1, broken, circular. We did that with a little bit of footwork, but we did more emphasis on being able to strike, keeping the hand either in the same place as it's going for it, or retracting it back of the hand to the forehand in order to evade from one of their strikes at our hand as we're doing that. After that, we did 3 minutes of free flow, just practicing and focusing on moving our feet as we struck. We weren't so much doing any specific patterns, but I wanted you to step with just about every strike. So hopefully you enjoyed today's class. If you did, let me know by commenting something down below. Tell me you liked it, tell me you didn't like it, tell me what you want to see more of, tell me what you see less of. Are you tired of the 8 angles? I hope not, because you're not going anywhere. There's a lot of stuff on those 8 angles, and we're going to practice it all. All right? But yeah, let me know, like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next class. Have a great day.